Good morning. Today we will start a new unit, Unit 9, the world of business. Our lesson is doing business in China. Today we will study new vocabulary and we will try to understand our paragraph and answer comprehension questions. So, first, let's read question number 2. Which of the following do you think is the most and least essentials in a business meeting? Check the meaning of any words that you don't know in the glossary on page 95, 96, or in your dictionary. Let's read them. Be prepared for details. Questions. Do a deal. Give a business card. Make small talk. Negotiate. Shake hands. Tell a joke. I wrote you the definition from your glossary. So the first one is be prepared for detailed questions. يعني لازم تكون مستعد لأي سؤال تفصيل عن الكومباني تبعتك أو عن شغلك. To have the ability to understand questions and respond. Do a deal. تعقد صفقة. To arrange an agreement in business. Give a business card. To give someone a card that shows your business person's name, positions, contact details, etc. Make small talk يعني انك تبلش تحكي عن البيزنس تبعك او عن الكومباني. شو يعني؟ معناتها to have a chat with someone to start a conversation. Negotiate معناتها يتفاوض. To discuss something to reach an agreement. Shake hands يعني تصافح معناتها to move hands in a greeting. Tell a joke. Tell a joke إنك تحكي نكتة وهذا الإشي مش مقبول في معظم الدول لما يكون في عندك اجتماع عمل. To say something make people laugh. Okay, so let's read our lesson. Doing business in China. Today we talk to Mr. Ghanem, a businessman based in Amman who often visits China. We ask him when he first started doing business with China. I've been doing business with China for many years. My first step there was in 2004 CE, and it was not very successful. Why was it not successful? I worked for a small computer company in Amman. They sent me to China when I was still quite young. If only the company had realized that the Chinese respect age and experience more than youth. Do you make any mistakes on that visit? Yes, I wish I had researched Chinese culture before I visited the country. In order to be successful in China, you need to earn their respect. Chinese business people will always ask about country's successes in the past. However, because I worked for a new company, I couldn't talk about its track record. We didn't do any business deals on that first trip. When did you learn how to be successful in China? I joined a larger company and they sent me on a cultural awareness course. On my next visit to China, it felt as if I hadn't known anything on my first visit. What advice can you give to young people wanting to do business in China? Before I visit a company, I send recommendations from previous client. I also send my business card with my job position and qualifications translated into Chinese. Can you tell us about your last meeting in China? Of course. I arrived on time. You must not arrive late, as this shows disrespect. Then, when I met the company directors, I shook hands with him gently. I began the meeting by making small talk about my interesting experiences in China. During the meeting, I made sure that my voice and body language were calm and controlled. I never told a joke, as this is may not be translated correctly or could cause offense. Was it a successful meeting? Yes, it was. I knew that the directors had researched my business thoroughly before the meeting, so I was prepared for his detailed questions. When I began negotiating, I started with the important issue. The Chinese believe in avoiding conflict. It's always important to be patient. I was prepared to compromise. So, in the end, the meeting was successful. Okay, so let's return back to the first paragraph and learn more about it. Today we will talk to Mr. Ghanem. So this is an interview with Mr. Ghanem. Mr. Ghanem, he is a businessman who do business with Chinese people. I've been doing business with China for many years. So tell us that he did many business with Chinese. He started his work in 2004 CE, but the first wasn't very successful. Now we will learn why it wasn't very successful. Why was it not successful? I worked for a small computer company in Amman. They sent me to China when I was still quite young. So he was still quite young. So what's the problem? If only the company had realized that Chinese respect age and experience more than you. So this is the first mistake for the company. They don't know about Chinese people. The Chinese people respect what? Age, respect experiences. They not respect the people, young people or youth. So this is the first mistakes that they did in his first visit. Let's continue to the second one. Did you make any mistakes on that visit? Okay. Yes, I wish I had researched Chinese cultures before. So this is the first mistakes for him, for Mr. Ghanem. He didn't know anything about Chinese cultures before he visited China. So he didn't anything about their culture. I visited the country. In order to be successful in China, you need to earn their respect. So how can you earn their respect? Chinese business people will always ask about a company's success. So, the first mistake, he didn't know anything about the Chinese culture. The second thing, he didn't know even about his company's successes. He didn't talk about the achievement of his company. So, this is the second mistakes. يعني ما قدر يحكي ولا ما بيعرف إشي عن الثقافة الصينية وما بيعرف أي أصلاً عن نجاحات تبعت الشركة تبعته. فهذا كان second mistakes. However, why he didn't know anything? Because I worked for a new company. كان لساته شغال جديد لشركة جديدة وما بيعرف عنها إشي. I couldn't talk about its track record. ما قدر يعرف عن نجاحاتها، عن سجلهم التجاري، ما قدر يعرف ولا إشي. فعشان هيك this is the second mistake. We didn't do any business deals on that first step. So why Mr. Ghanem didn't make any deals in his first step? Because he do two mistakes. The first one, he didn't research about the Chinese culture. The second one, he didn't know about anything about his company track record. So he can't do a deal. When did you learn how to be successful in China? So this is in the first step, he did many mistakes, but now let's see how he learned to be successful in China. Because he a businessman, he worked in China. He worked with Chinese people. I joined a larger company, and they sent me on a cultural awareness course. هون راح لعند ياخذ كورس كامل عن يعرف عن الكالتشر awareness اللي هي توعية بالثقافات. أخذ أهم شيء بالثقافة الصينية، صار يعرف كيف بيفكروا، كيف بيحكوا، شو الإشي الأولويات بالنسبة لهم، وهذا إشي مهم كتير بالنسبة للبزنس. On my next visit to China, it feels as if I hadn't know anything on my first visit. إذا بعد ما أخذ الكورس شعر كأنه ولا كان بيعرف ولا استفاد إشي من زيارته الأولى. What advice can you give to people wanting to do business in China? طيب هلا let's see Mr. Ghanem advice to us for our not to us for people who want to make business in China. Before I visit a company, so what did he do? I number one, I send recommendation from previous client. Previous client يعني زبناء زبائن سابقين. بعت إنه كيف حكوا بالنسبة عن شركتهم، كيف مدحوها، كيف شكروها. Number one. Number two, I also sent my business card with my job position and qualification translated into Chinese. بعت لهم الكارد تبعه اللي فيه معلومات عنه، فيه عن مهاراته، بس مترجمة للتشاينيز عشان يعرفوا كل إشي بوضوح. إذا هاي الأشياء اللي عملها قبل زيارته الثانية للصين. Can you tell me about your last meeting in China? طيب. This is the last meeting and we will know about it. Of course, I arrived in time. This is very important for Chinese people. He arrived on time. You must not arrive late, as this shows disrespect. ببين إنه عدم الاحترام إذا أنت وصلت متأخر على الاجتماع. Then, when I met the company director, I shook hands with him gently. إذا number two إذا أول إشي وصل on time. Arrive on time. Number two, shook hands with him gently. صافحوا. إذا المصافحة ب Chinese people بالنسبة لهم مهمة. Number three, I began the meeting by making small talk about my interesting experience in China. بلش هو يحكي small talk يعني بلش إنه هو المحادثة يحكي عن خبراته الممتعة في الصين. During the meeting, I made sure that my voice and body language were calm and controlled. وخلال هذا اللقاء اهتم كتير إنه يكون صوته واطي، يكون البودي لانجوج والفيس لانجوج مالهم قدر يسيطر عليهم، ما يعصب، ما ينرفز، تعابير وجهه تكون مالها ملائمة للاجتماع. وهذا إشي كتير مهم بالبزنس اللي هي لازم يكون واحد يقدر يسيطر على البودي لانجوج والفيس لانجوج. I never told a joke. كمان أعطانا advice إنه هو ما حكى أي نكتة. ليش؟ As this may not be translated correctly or could cause offense. ممكن إنه ما يقدروا يترجموها بطريقة صح. النكت اللي هو بعرفها النكت الأردنية ممكن ما يقدر يفهموها، أو ممكن تسبب بعض الاستياء بالنسبة للتشاينيز people. Was it a successful meeting? إذا رغم العمل، إذا هو بعت عنه عن مهاراته، بعت الكارد، حكى small talk، shake hands gently، ما حكى أي نكت. طب هل هاي سببت نجاح؟ Yes, it was. أكيد كان الاجتماع ناجح. I knew that the directors had researched my business thoroughly before the meeting. عرف إنه كان المدير تبع الشركة الصينية أصلاً كان عامل بحث عن شركته وعن قبل ما يحضر اجتماع معاه. So I was prepared for his detailed question. أنا كنت كتير مستعد لأسئلته. أي أسئلة ممكن يسألها أنا بقدر أجاوبها. Detailed questions. When I began negotiating، لما بلش أتفاوض، I started with the important issue. بلشت بالأشياء المهمة. المسائل المهمة. ما بلش بالأشياء الفرعية، لا، ركز على الإشي المهم. Chinese believe in avoiding conflict. كتير مهم يعرف إنه الصينيين بحبوا إنهم ما بيحبوا يصير عند مشكلة، بيحبوا يركزوا على الأشياء المهمة عشان يوصلوا لاتفاق. It is also important to be patient. كتير مهم تكون صبور، تكون calm وإنت عم تعمل الاجتماع، عم مالك تحاول إنك تحصل على صفقة. I was prepared to compromise. أنا تعلمت كيف أتفاوض. So in the end, the meeting was successful. في النهاية كان الاجتماع مهم لأنه قدر يخطط مظبوط لرحلته أو لسفرته الثانية. طيب خلينا نسأل مع بعض، نجاوب هاي الأسئلة المهمة لكم understand the paragraph. What is more important than youth for the Chinese people? From the first paragraph, we realized that Chinese people didn't respect you. They respect age and experience. بحبوا الناس اللي عندهم خبرة، بحبوا الناس الكبار، يعني بيعتقدوا إنهم بيكون أشطر في الشغل. What was the thing that Mr. Ghanem didn't do in the first visit to China? شو الإشي اللي بأول سفرة إله أو برحلته الأولى، زيارته الأولى ما عملها؟ He didn't research Chinese culture. هو ما كان يعرف ولا إشي عن Chinese culture، وكان هاي بالنسبة إله غلطة. What does Mr. Ghanem do before visiting a company? طيب هلا شو الإشي اللي عمله قبل ما يزور مرة تانية، يروح يعمل صفقة مرة تانية؟ عمل أكتر من شغلة. He sent recommendations from previous client. بعت. He sent his business card with his job position, qualification, and which translated into Chinese من الفقرة. وهاي الأشياء اللي سببت نجاح للصفقة تبعته. What thing should you do to have a successful business meeting؟ طيب هلا الاجتماع الثاني، شو الأشياء اللي عملها علشان هو يقدر نجح؟ Number 1, you mustn't arrive late. ما لازم توصل. You must arrive on time. Number 2, you should shake hands gently. لازم تصافح إيش؟ بلطف. Number 3, you should begin with making a small talk about interesting experience in China. كمان مو بس هدول، كمان بنقدر نضيف إنه you should be calm, you patient, you should اللي هي control your face language و body language. then هاي الأشياء كتير مهمة عشان you have a successful meeting. Hope you understand this paragraph. بكون عليكي homework to answer اللي هي comprehension questions on page 65, question number 4. Thank you.